the online platform for Get Agriculture Engineering. And this is all about me. Now today we are going to study the irrigation chapter. In the irrigation chapter, today I will deal with the types of aquifers and different terms related to aquifers. So friends, first of all we should divide the saturated zone into four categories, and these four categories are aquifer, aquiclude, aquifuse and aquitard. I am telling these terms so if the theoretical question will come in the examination, then you can easily answer and you can get the 1 marks. So friends, you see this. Here in aquifuse, it is the impermeable rock present between which neither absorb and not transmit the water. And the second one is aquitard, which can absorb water but it do not transmit the water, means its permeability is very low. Friends, I am telling you these terms because maybe in the upcoming GATE examination the theoretical question will directly ask from this portion, or matching type questions will ask, so that you can easily answer and get the marks. And friends, this is all about aquifers. So I wish all of you mostly know that aquifer is the layer of permeable rock, sands, sediments that collect, holds and transmit water to the wells or springs. So this is the definition of aquifer. And now coming to the types of aquifers, the first type you have to study, that is unconfined aquifer. Then the unconfined aquifer is the top layer of the aquifer which contains the water table and which is used for the recharge of groundwater, and it is also used for the pumping of water from the wells. So this aquifer has the diagram like this. You see here in the diagram, here Q is the discharge, S is the drawdown, H1 is the height, H2 is also the height at the base of the well, and 2R is the diameter of well, and capital R is the radius of curvature. So friends, this is the formula for unconfined aquifer to calculate its discharge. Here friends, see here in the formula that Q is the discharge, K is the hydraulic conductivity, H2 square is the height, and H1 square is the height, and R2 and R1 are the radius at the H1, H2 and H1 heights respectively. Friends, here you see in the diagram that heights, here initial height is H1. You see here in the diagram that here the heights given that are H1 and H2. These are the heights of well water surface at that particular radius. Coming to the confined aquifers, these are aquifers present at the bottom surface of the groundwater. Here you see in the diagram that the unconfined aquifer is present in the top surface, and then after aquitard layer is present, and then after confined aquifer is present, and then after aquiclude is present. Means the aquiclude is the present at the bottommost point and the unconfined aquifer is the topmost point. So friends, now you see this is the discharge formula for confined aquifer, that is 2 pi T into S1 minus S2 divided by ln R2 by R1. Friends, here instead of S1 and S2 you can replace it by H1 and H2. Here you see in this formula, in this diagram, here I have written the drawdown. Here S is the drawdown, you see it clearly, means S is the distance from the topmost surface of the well to the pumping water level of the well. Here you see in this formula it is written S1 S2 in case of confined aquifer, but in case of unconfined aquifer it is written that H2 square minus H1 square. Means in case of confined aquifer, you can write either S1 minus S2 or you can write H1 minus H2. Friends, notice here that it is the linear relationship between the drawdown and the height. Means when there is linear relationship between two quantities, then their difference is equal. So you can easily use either S1 minus S2 or H1 minus H2. But friends, you remember that this only occurs in the case of confined aquifer, not in the case of unconfined aquifer. You remember this term very clearly, that in case of confined aquifer, I can write the formula as 2 pi t into S1 minus S2 divided by ln R2 by R1, or instead of S1 minus S2, I can also write H1 minus H2. It can be written. There is no doubt or no problem in written that H1 minus H2 or S1 minus S2, both the differences will give the same number. Here friends, notice here that I am saying that both the differences, not both the heights and both as drawdown and heights are same thing. These are not same things, but these are showing the linear relationship with each other. That's why they both can be used. The difference of both S1 S2 and H1 H2 can be same, so you can use this both. And friends, one more term I will show you here, that is T. Here T is the transmissibility, and transmissibility is the product of hydraulic conductivity of the aquifer and the thickness of the aquifer. So here T is the K into B. But friends, you see here in case of unconfined aquifer, it is clearly visible that H2 square minus H1 square relationship. So you can't replace the H1 H2 by S1 square minus S2 square. So don't do mistakes like that you are taking, suppose the drawdown is given in the question, S1 S2 is given, and it is the case of unconfined aquifer, and you are simply replacing the S1 S2 by H1 H2 and you are doing all the calculation, then you will definitely get the wrong answer. So you always go for H1 square and H2 square in case of confined aquifer, in case of unconfined aquifer. So you remember the case of unconfined aquifer. Friends, coming to the questions, that the first question is asked in 2016, that is 30 meter depth confined aquifer, hydraulic conductivity is given, discharge is given, and the drawdown and radius of influences are given, and it is asking about the diameter of tube well. And friends, you see here that it is the case of confined aquifer. So you can use this formula, that is 2 pi t. Here t can be replaced by k into b. Here you see the formula for confined aquifer, that is Q is equal to 2 pi kb h minus h divided by ln r by r. Here friends, you see here in the question that it is given that the radius of influence is 250. Means friends, you remember one thing, you remember this diagram. I will show you the diagram once again. You remember this diagram. Here the radius of influence, you see that at radius of influence r, the drawdown is 0. Here you see in this diagram, I will show you. Here you see that here radius of influence is the capital R, and you can see that when at a r distance, at a capital R distance from the well, the drawdown is 0. And another thing you see here, when at a distance of a small r, you see that here the drawdown is S. Means at the radius of cone, the drawdown is 0, and at the surface of well, the drawdown is highest, that is S. So here you see in this question, here that is I have simply put the values, and you can see here that I have put 5 minus 0. Means here 5 is the drawdown at the base of the well, and 0 is the drawdown at the radius of curvature or radius of cone of the well, means 0. At the radius of curvature, you remember that at the radius of influence or radius of curvature or radius of cone, you can say either of these three. That is, at that point the drawdown is 0. So I have put all the values. I have calculated the R value, that is the radius of my well. So I multiplied the R value with 2, then I will get the diameter of well, that is 266.7 mm. Sorry, I have not written the units here, but you can assume that 266.7 mm diameter. Now coming to the next question that is asked upon in 2012. It is given that 200 mm fully penetrating confined aquifer. This is also the case of confined aquifer, and the discharge is given and the drawdowns are given, and the radius is given where the drawdowns occurs. Friends, you read this question carefully, that the drawdowns in the observation well are located at a place of 25 meter and 40 meter from the pumping well, is found to be 2.6 and 1.9. Friends, many students are confused here, that they are thinking that 25 and 40 is the drawdown. Friends, you read this carefully. Here it is given that 25 meter and 40 meter distance from the aquifer, means it is the R1 R2 value. 25 and 40 is the R1 and R2 value, not the drawdowns. And the drawdowns are found to be 2.6 and 1.9 are the S1 and S2 value respectively. So you can simply put in the, as I have said you that in case of confined aquifer, you can easily replace the S1 minus S2 value by H1 minus H2 value, and you can easily put every given data in this formula, and you can easily calculate the T value, that is the transmissibility. And the normal, generally the unit of transmissibility is meter square per day. So in the last I have calculated, I have multiplied it with 3600 into 24 divided by 1000. So I have get the answer, that is 215, means the option D. Now this is the next question, friends. See here that all questions are simply asked based upon formula. So you should remember both this formula for confined and unconfined aquifer, and you have to understand this figure, whatever figure I have shown you in the initial of the video. So you should understand that figure, that what is the drawdown, what is the radius of curvature, what is the heights, what are the thickness of well. You should understand this, all the terms, then you can easily able to answer all the questions related to these aquifers. You see here in this question also, the diameter is given and the radius of influence is given, and all conditions are same, and it is saying that in second case the diameter is doubled, means the smaller value is double. You see here the formula, that is 2 pi kb h minus h divided by ln capital R by small r. In this case it is saying that every values are same, only the small r value is doubled, means then it is asking that what is the percentage increase in the yield. Friends, you remember that yield is also called discharge. Yield value is the discharge value. So you don't need to calculate everything, that 2 pi kb h1 minus h2. You don't need to calculate all these things. You don't need to put. You simply take 1 by ln r by, capital R by small r minus 1 by ln capital R by small r2. Means in second case you put, and in first case you put, and divided by the first case you do, and then you multiply with 100. That is 9.63% will be the correct answer. Now this is the next question, friends. Sorry, I haven't marked the year in which year it has come, but it is definitely a previous year question, but I forgot to mark the year, so you don't think that it has not come in the examination. All questions, whatever I will show you and whatever I will solve you in all in my upcoming videos, that are fully the previous year GATE questions. that are not questions from anywhere else. Friends, I will give the solution of all questions which are asked in GATE previous year paper from 1990 to 2020. So you don't think that this question I have not marked that hasn't come in the examination. Every questions are the previous year questions, and the best way to score in GATE examination is to solve the previous year questions as much as you can, because whatever it is asked in 30 years, suppose from 1990 to 2020, whatever it has asked in the 31st year in 2021 or 22, the same thing will be asked. There is nothing difference in the paper, or mostly difference will come, that is a 5% or 8% like that. Means if you take the target of that I have to score out of 100, I have to score 75 or 80 or 85 like that, or up to 90 marks, you can easily score by solving all the previous year papers conceptually. Friends, remember here that I am saying conceptually, means your all concepts should be clear of previous year papers. Don't think that you have to do lengthy problems from different big books or different materials. You don't need that. You simply be focused and be consistent with the previous year papers, because whatever it is asked, जो इसने 30 years लास्ट 30 years में पूछा होगा, वो सेम 31st ईयर में भी सेम ही आएगा. मैक्सिमम वो 5 to 8% वेरी कर सकता है, 2-4 क्वेश्चन वेरी कर सकता है, बट यू कैन easily take an average of almost 90 to 95% of the paper is same. Whatever it has asked in last 30 years, the same concept will be repeated. You will take it as guaranteed. And come to the question. Here it is given that the discharge is given, that is 1000 liters per minute, and the drawdowns are given at a radial distance of 1 meter and 10 meter, that is 13.4 and 4.2, and thickness of aquifer is also given, that is 10 meter, and it is asking about the what is the hydraulic conductivity of the aquifer. Friends, you see here that there is nothing mentioned that whether it is a confined aquifer or whether it is an unconfined aquifer. Friends, you remember, nothing is mentioned in the question, and it is given the, you see here that it is given that thickness is 10 meter. Means you have to clearly, it should be clearly visible that it is asking about the confined aquifer, because in case of confined aquifer only we are considering the thickness of the well. So here you see in the solution that the Q is discharge is 2 pi kV H1 minus H2 divided by ln R1 by R2. You see here that in the formula I have written for you for clearing your concept, that capital H minus H1 is equal to S1 and capital H minus H2 is equal to S2, and S1 minus S2 is equal to H1 minus H2. Friends, initial of the video also I have told you that H1 minus H2 is equal to S1 minus S2, and here you can get the proof that S1 minus S2 is equal to H1 minus H2. And friends, capital H, you remember that capital H is the total height of the well. Now you can see that remaining things are very easy, and you can simply put all the values, and units you should take care. It is given in liter per minute, so you should convert it to meter cube per second, and you can easily put all the values and get the K value, that is 6.65 into 10 to the power minus 5 meter per second. Now friends, coming to the next question, that is given that a 150 mm of diameter of fully confined aquifer, and its constant rate discharge is given, that is 150 liter per minute for 10 hours, and steady state drawdowns are given at a distance of 40 and 50 meter and from the center, and it is asking about the hydraulic conductivity of aquifer in meter per day. So friends, you see here the solution, that is Q is given, so in liter per minute. So you first do the unit conversion of Q, because you see here in the question, hydraulic conductivity is asking in meter per day. So you should first work you should do, that is convert a hydraulic discharge into meter cube per day, and then after remaining you put all the values, S1 value, S2 value, Ln value, everything value you put, and then you can get the K value, that is 1.67 meter per day. Now coming to the next question, it is asked in 2005. Here it is given that discharge is given, and then the radial distances are given, and the drawdowns are given, and the transmissibility is also given, and it is asking that the drawdown at 2 meter absorbed at a distance of, means it is asking the at what distance the drawdown of 2 meter is observed. So you simply see here that simply know the formula for confined aquifer. So you put the values of confined aquifer and you can get the answer, that is R2 is equal to meter. You see here in the options, option B is given, that is 14.92 meter. Friends, up to now you can see that all questions are simply asked on formula. There is nothing to do. If you understand the basic concept and the two formulas for confined and unconfined aquifer, then you are able to solve all the questions related to this topic. The question, friends, which is asked in 1993. You see here in the question, 20 centimeter well is given and the length of a strainer is given, that is 15 centimeter, and the drawdowns are given and the K value is given and the radius of influence is given, and it is saying that if the diameter is doubled, means what is the increase in yield. And you see this question, previously also we have solved such type of question. From there you can conclude that whatever the questions asked in the previous year, that are similarly repeated after 10 to 15 years. So you should go thoroughly with the previous year papers. That you see here in 1993 the same question is asked, and I have solved I think 2014 or 2012 like that year the same question is asked on if the diameter is doubled. So you can easily analyze from here that the same questions are asked. There is nothing to do with the such type of questions. Friends, you see that simply put the discharge formula and you put all the values, that is 2 pi kb into s. Friends, you see here that here I have put the drawdown of 5 meter is given, and it is given that radius of influence is 500 and the well is 20 centimeter. So here you see in the first part that 2 pi kb s, I forgot to write s minus 0 because here the drawdown at the radius of influence is 0. You remember this point, friends. The drawdown at the radius of influence is 0 and the drawdown at the radius of well is highest, that is s, means the highest drawdown is observed at the radius of well and the lowest drawdown is observed at the radius of influence. Once again I will show you this diagram. You clearly observe here that at r value, r distance, the drawdown is 0. You see here that at r distance means radius of influence distance, the drawdown is 0, and at the base of well means at the radius of well, the drawdown is s, means the drawdown is highest at the base of well and the lowest at the radius of influence. You put all these values and you can get the discharge, that is 2168.3, and in second case also you can get the discharge, that is 1992, and you can calculate the difference and then divide it by the first term, that is 8.8%. In second method also, friends, you can do, and that is the I will suggest you to do by second method, that is this one. You can simply don't put any value, you simply put ln r by rw1 divided by ln r by rw2 minus 1 into 100. That is, you can get 8.8% value by this method also. Now friends, this is the another concept in the aquifer. Only generally questions are up to now, questions are only asked from these two concepts only. Whatever formulas I have told you, and now this concept. Only 2-3 questions are asked on this concept, but I will try to solve all the questions asked and try to clear your all the doubts and theory. So friends, you remember that a specific yield is the water released from the aquifer by gravity to the ratio of total water which can be storage capacity, which can be stored in this aquifer. You simply remember that SY, that is specific yield, is the ratio of VD by VT. Here VD is the total amount of water present in that surface and VT is the total area, total volume of that surface. Friends, you read here that VD waters are present. Suppose a ground, I will say that a catchment area of 5 hectare, and the depth of that catchment area or depth of soil present in that catchment area is 5 centimeter. Then water, and it contains some moisture. So friends, you should be very clear that the water is present only in the voids of the soil. The water is not fully present in the soil. It is present only in the voids of soil. Means whatever the void space is present in that catchment area, in that soil, that only contains the water. So a specific yield is the ratio of that water that is present in the catchment area or present in that soil divided by total volume of the catchment area or total volume of the soil. Means if you see mathematically, then you can get that it is the ratio of volume of water drained or volume of water given to that catchment area divided by total area of the catchment multiplied into the depth of the catchment. This is the formula for a specific. The second one is specific retention, that is water retained in the aquifer. And friends, you see here that a relation between a specific retention and a specific yield, that is Sy plus Sr is equal to N. Here N is the porosity. Friends, many times questions are asked upon this formula, that is it has given the porosity is given and the specific retention is given and it is asking about the specific yield. So you can easily put all the values and you can get the answer. Friends, you remember that the sum of a specific yield and a specific retention is equal to the porosity of that catchment area. So you first start with 2018 paper. In this question it is given that a 30 centimeter diameter fully penetrating confined aquifer having the drawdown of 3 meter. The radius of influence is given, that is 3 kilometer. For the same discharge and aquifer condition, the drawdown at 300 meter away from the center of well. So see here the solution. I have initially told you that at the radius of influence the drawdown is 0 and at the radius of well the drawdown is maximum. You see here in the problem that it is given that the confined aquifer has drawdown of 3 meter at the diameter, at the 30 centimeter diameter, means at its radius of well, and it is asking that what is the drawdown at 300 meter away from the center. So friends, you can simply put the formula, that is 2 pi kb into S1 minus 0 is equal to 2 pi kb S2 minus 0 divided by ln whatsoever your value is coming. So in this case S1 value is given, that is 3 meter is given and it is asking about the S2 value. So you can calculate and get the S2 value, that is 0.71. I have not written S2, I have written here as simply S, but you think that this is the S2 value. Now coming to the next question, that is very easy question. It has simply asked that 50 hectare land is there, hydraulic conductivity is given, a specific yield is given, and the water table rises from 17 centimeter to 14.5 meter. Sorry, 17 meter to 14.5 meter. And it is asking that how much water is extracted from that area. Friends, I have initially told you that here you see the concept of specific yield. Specific yield is simply the ratio of volume of water extracted to the total volume of the catchment area. So you should calculate the total volume of catchment area. How you will calculate? That is, you should multiply the area of catchment into its change in water level or change in depth. So you should multiply, and you should then multiply it with the specific yield. Then you can get the amount of water extracted from that area. So you should understand this concept of specific yield. You should simply remember this formula and all questions. Friends, here VD is the amount of water extracted or amount of water given, and VT is the total water that is present in that area. So you should remember this concept and you can solve all the questions. I have solved mostly questions, but in coming year or in next year, if questions are asked on this concept, then you are able to solve. Friends, this is the last question. I have not mentioned the year, but it has come in the GATE examination. So you should read the question, that the area, watershed area is given, and its hydraulic conductivity is given, and a specific yield is given, that is 0.2, and it is saying that if 30 million meter cube of water is pumped from the aquifer, then the average drop in water table level. Friends, this question is based upon the previous question concept, that the area is given and the volume of water that is pumped out. You all know that a specific yield is the ratio of volume of water extracted or volume of water given to the catchment divided by total volume of soil or total volume of catchment present in that area. So in this question it is given that 30 million meter cube of water is pumped out, means extracted water, and it is a specific yield is given and the area is given, and we have to calculate only the drop in water table level. So you should simply put that in the formula and you should calculate and get the value, that is H is equal to 1.5. You do the calculation, you can get the same value. So friends, thank you. That's all.